Okay. Hey guys, so it is the 10th of January. And if you saw the title to this Zoom, I said we were 10 days in and we had 110 days to go. So we are going to be talking a lot about the rank advancement, but you'll also notice on the graphic, I said the best way to get there to the top is to go one foot in front of the other. You guys, we're going to stick to the basics. I know everybody wants like some crazy magic script or this post that they can do, and it's going to just bring all the people, but that's not how it works. So I am going to go over a couple of reports tonight that we don't typically talk about because I want to make sure we're flipping over every rock possible. But before we hit the ground running, I want us to start off like we always do with our rate of run. We are officially 2 auto ships into the month already. We had the giant promo when we kicked off the month, or kicked off the year actually. So for those of you that are new, and maybe you're not new, but regardless, we're gonna do this together. You're gonna log into your account. You're gonna go onto just that very first page when you log in, whether it's your phone or your computer. You are going to click on the business snapshot. It's under the business dashboard. You're going to click on that, drop down, it will drop down for you. And from there, you're going to see where it says current QV. That current QV, you're going to take that number and you're going to divide it by 10. So when you see current QV, that is all of the volume that you and everybody under you have on your team has done so far. And we're dividing it by 10 because today is the 10th day of the month. What we're doing is finding the average of how much you and your team have sold per day, so that we kind of get an idea of at the rate that you guys are running. Like, how fast are you running? What are you churning up on a basis here? So the number that you now have in front of you, when you took your QV and you divided it by 10, the number you now have in front of you, we're going to take and we're going to multiply that by 31, because we have 31 days in the month. So if you stay at the rate that you're on, the average that you're on, and you take that average daily times 31, that's showing you where you're going to be at the end of the month. Now, we have this conversation every stinking Sunday, but it is now taken on an even bigger meaning for all of you, because at the end of the month, are you going to rank advance? I don't know. You're the one looking at the number. Are you going to rank advance? If you are, freaking fantastic. And it's only the first month, so we're definitely going to push you a little further between now and April. If you aren't, and that is one of your goals, then now you know how far from the rank advance you are. I could actually tell this morning, before I even did my rate of run, or like broke it down, that my team is on target for our monthly goal. Now, when I set that monthly goal at the beginning of the year, I did not know about the rank advancement. So we have a little ways to make up here, but I already knew that because I keep track of it on my calendar every Saturday. So I already knew where we needed to be on Saturday. So why am I telling you this? Because you need to know where you are. If you want to get anywhere in business, you're going to have to know where you are and how far it is from where you need to go. So you guys have that in front of you right now. Are you close to what you want? Is your number close to it? If so, fabulous. Don't take your foot off the gas though, okay? Anything can happen and you want to always make sure you're ahead of the game. If you are far from the number, then that's what we're going to talk about a little bit of, how you just go all in basically. Okay, so rate of run. So now you know where you're headed. I want to ask you guys, and you can put it, I need to open chat. You can put it in chat if you want, or you can raise your hand or unmute or whatever. Last Sunday, I challenged you all to purchase 6 trial packs from your back office. And I challenged you to get rid of them all between last Sunday and today. Who was successful? How did it go? I have 2. Oh, Sandra has 2 going out tonight. Awesome. Anybody else want to chime in? I'm trying to look at faces and stuff at the same time. I will be honest with you. I only have 3 out of 6. Oh, I even threw out a last minute desperate post like a couple hours ago. I was like, come on, who wants it? I challenge people and I need to get rid of a few more of these. But it's only 7 o'clock, so I have time still. But did that help you? Did it help you to have, Olivia, I did not purchase them from the back office, but I sent out 6 and I have 2 more going out tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. So Olivia did, and I might actually unmute you. Where are you? I see your little, can you unmute Olivia? If not, I get it. You have a bunch of kids, but Olivia did a little game on her Facebook. So Olivia, okay, go ahead and tell them what you did, please.
Okay, the kid. Oh, Look, my power planning alarm's going off a little late. So the kids are screaming. So if you can hear them, I'm sorry. But anyway, so I did kind of like we were doing through Christmas, and the game is if the last person to say tired before I say mama gets a 3-day trial pack. Well, I had a lot of non-thrivers, play it. And even though, only one person won, I still messaged all the non-thrivers on there and asked them if they wanted one.
Awesome.
And I got a lot of feedback from it.
Thank you. So the reason I wanted her to share that with you is because I've shared it with you before. I know other people have shared it, but I think every time you hear a version of it, it's amazing because so I have done it before and I've had no success. And then I've done it a few weeks later and I had a lot of success. And then I've done it again and it's been crickets. The thing is you have to keep doing it. So I know Olivia's done them in the past and had maybe 1 or 2 people for whatever reason, stars and the moon aligned, maybe the words that she chose. Notice it was tired mama. That's like literally beckoning your ideal customer, right? Like she actually said the name of the ideal customer in the contest. And that is where all these people started to respond to her. Courtney sent out 3, Samantha Clark sent out 3, Lisa, I purchased 6 and I'm trying to get rid of them, LOL. I'm with you, girl. I got 3 left over too, so it's okay. So the point is, I can't always, I could, I guess, but I'm not always going to be there to challenge you every Sunday to say, hey, let's get trial packs out or hey, let's come up with something creative and reach out for new people. That is just what you do. That is what we do as promoters. So if you're ever feeling that thing where you're like sitting there and it's like looking at a brick wall and you're like, I don't know what to do, because I think we all get in that spot every now and then. If you need help, reach out and say, hey, somebody challenged me to something. As a matter of fact, I'll give Sandra a shout out. There was one time, and it's been months ago now, but I forget she and I were talking and I was like, and she was like, and all of a sudden she's like, you know what? Let's set a timer. And I forget how long we even did it. And she's like, reach out to as many people as we can in the next so many minutes. And we did it. And it was amazing. And I just needed that push. So if you ever need that push, don't be afraid to ask for it. It doesn't mean you're a bad promoter. It doesn't mean you're bad in business. It just means you're freaking human. But if you sit there and remain human and you don't try to get the push, that's going to be your downfall. We are all here to help each other. We are all here to build each other up. There is literally nobody on this team anywhere on this screen in front of you that can hit a bonus without everybody else on the screen with them, right? That's the way the comp plan is set up. And that's the way we're going to work it. So if you ever are struggling, reach up, sideline, downline, upline, whoever, but just make sure you don't sit there in your own stink and don't do anything about it. Okay. One of like the regular housekeeping things that we talk about a lot, by the way, really quick, about those trial packs, if you have some left over, make sure you keep your focus on that. If you got rid of all 6 or 8, Olivia, overachiever, do it again. Like keep going with it. Trial packs lead to thrivers. And that's the whole purpose of that. So we have an auto ship coming up on the 15th. And this is where I want to share a report that I don't know if everybody knows where it is or understands what it is. But first and foremost, make sure you go through your customer, and we'll do that really quick too, just so I don't like to assume that everybody knows how to do this. So you're going to log into your account. You're going to go up to the My Team button. You're going to click the My Customer button. It's going to populate all of your personal customers. You are going to, at the top, it says customer number, customer name, email. You're going to scroll all the way to the far right where it says next auto ship. On the words next auto ship, actually click that twice. And that's going to populate it by date for you. And now you want to go through and you want to see who you have listed for January 15th for an auto ship. When you see the names for January 15th, right now, we're going to write those names down, because you need to contact them tonight and tomorrow about something completely non-Thrive related. Go to their Facebook, their Instagram, the last conversation you had with them, what the heck ever. And if you go to their, so somebody's like, well, I went to their Facebook and I can't find anything. Well, guess what? It's Sunday. It's very easy to say, hey, how's your weekend been? Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't always have to be some fabulous, amazing message. It just has to be 2 humans communicating together. So make sure you reach out, get a little conversation started, because in the next day or 2, you need to say, hey, you're popped up on my report again for your auto ship this week. Now, based on how this person's weekend went, maybe it was great and amazing. Maybe it was kind of crappy, whatever it was. Now you should have some information that you could offer up some sort of solution. If they said it was a really great weekend, that they were traveling or whatever, I don't know, traveling so iffy right now, but you know what I mean? Like you could always recommend something for them. Maybe they said they didn't go anywhere because they're really freaked out about COVID, or maybe somebody in their family has it or whatever. You have products that can help them. But again, you have to start those conversations. So make sure you're starting those conversations tonight and tomorrow, because what the 15th is, that's Friday. So I would say by Wednesday, you for sure need to be saying, hey, you're eligible for your auto ship on the 15th. Currently it's showing XYZ based on how everything you were telling me was going. What if we add Sculpt? Maybe somebody's like, great. Or they're like, I'm struggling. I've got this new food thing I'm trying to do. It's the new year. I'm working on these goals. Maybe you could say, what if we add Treat, or what if we add Sculpt, or whatever. I just saw a chat. Lisa, I've had some success with this week by people saying, hey, I'm a little late with my Happy New Year. I hope yours was good. See, super simple. And everybody understands that you get behind on saying something as simple as Happy New Year. So I love that. Yeah, that's a super simple message. How are things going? And again, she's ending with a question. How are things going? What I want to make sure you think about too, when you're going through these auto ship reports, so obviously your customer report, we're looking for people who are already scheduled for auto ships this week. Okay, what about all of your past auto ship people who maybe have dropped off? Who are they? Do you even remember? How can you find them? What's very similar to the report we just did, only instead of clicking the next auto ship, you're going to click last auto ship. So you can click that button twice and it'll populate based on the last auto ship. I mean, I'm looking at auto ships here from September of 2016, September of 2015. So there are some people who have not auto shipped in a long time. Now, maybe it's because they dropped off the face of the earth. Maybe it's because they still order, just not on auto ship. I don't know, but I have a whole list of names here of people that I can make sure I'm having conversations with. Again, non-Thrive related, but having conversations with these people. Because if you're like me, and I'm guessing some of you are, when somebody stops ordering and you've moved on to a new batch of people ordering, it's hard to remember to keep in contact with everybody. But guys, that's our job. Keep the lines of communication open. So I like to go through who hasn't ordered from me in a while. Why did they stop? Like I see right here, there's a girl who I know is pregnant, and that is why she stopped right now. But guess what, guys? She stopped a year and a half ago. That baby's here. So that's my point. You've got a wealth of knowledge in your cloud. You just have to learn to use it. And another report that I tend to forget to look at, and I want to make sure I go over with you guys tonight, because it could be that you have lost some auto ships and you might not even know it or know why. Now, some of you will have a report when we click this button and some of you won't. So if you don't panic, not a problem. You're going to go into your menu and you're going to go into the actual report part of the menu. And there's, a ton of reports that are going to pop up for you. I want you to look at the second report down. It says auto ships. This is the report that just gives you like an estimated total. Like they're like, we think, based on what's in the computer now, this is about how much volume you're going to have. Okay, scroll past all those pie graphs and look where it says failed auto ships. Personals with failed auto ships on their team. You will see promoters and their name, like these are your promoters on your team. And if you scroll to the right, it's going to show you who the auto ship that failed belonged to and why it failed. So sometimes people have expired cards, or like, let me see, failed reason, transaction blocked, expired card, general decline, invalid card number. These people may not even know. Like maybe they forgot they were supposed to get it, or maybe something really crappy happened and they were like, whoo, that didn't go through. I don't know. Everybody's going to be a little different, but these are people who at least at one time did auto ship with you, and maybe they just needed to change their auto ship and didn't know how. I mean, people do a lot of weird things to get out of auto ships or to try to cancel them without just, canceling them like a regular person. So don't like attack these people, right? Like you're like, oh, hey, Mandy, I see your card got declined. No, just be like, hey, Mandy, I've got a report here, and I know we had a little trouble with your auto ship. Is there anything I can do to help you with that? Maybe Mandy's like, no, cool, I didn't want to do it anymore. or yeah, that'd be great because I didn't know how to take the shakes off. So I just, I took my number out or whatever. Whatever different reasons it's failed, but I want to make sure you guys know that report is there and it's a good place to troubleshoot. Like if somebody's having a problem, and also to help them fix their problem, because that's what we do as promoters is help people fix problems. Okay. So that was the one I wanted to make sure that you saw. So I was thinking really hard tonight because I don't know if Lindsay's on here. She is. I see her little thing. So Lindsay last night was on, what were we on yesterday? Something. And she was like, oh, make sure you get on Tammy's Zoom. Like she's going to talk about blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, crap. So that was a lot of pressure because I know we're going to talk about Operation Winning. And I know we want to talk about the rank advance. But I kept thinking like, what do I say? Yeah, thanks, Lindsay. I was like, what do I say? Like, so then I thought, okay, so when I first started as a promoter, June 22nd of 2015, like I double checked my numbers, I was brand new, clueless, like clueless beyond clueless, because even now, if you think you're clueless, the product and business has been around long enough that you probably have somebody in your line that's got an idea of what's going on. We were just flat out clueless around here when we all first started. So I was like, what did I do? So I pulled out, that's right, I have it, my 2015 calendar. And I started to go through it. And I was like, what did I do then that maybe I'm not doing now? And number one, I was doing a much more organized job of writing down names. This was actually back when I didn't know Susan yet. Miss Susan at the time even had a different last name, but I ran across something somewhere and I wrote here, Susan's calendar challenge. And it says Facebook posts, 5 people invited to the page. I had people's accounts and their names written down. I had all over, 12K this, 12K that. You guys, I started promoting June 22nd. My first Thrive After 5 was July 17th. So basically what I'm getting at is I didn't mess around because I don't know why. I had no fear in the moment. I didn't care what people thought. I didn't know. We had this great, amazing thing. I felt really good. I did what people told me to do, which was be on an 8:15 team call, which would be your as a 7:15 call in the Monday mornings. I did a Thrive After 5. I started a team promo for my DFTs. I just literally did what I was told. I didn't think about it. I love the fact that I documented it all, though, by the way. And for those of you guys that aren't sure, according to this, it says I hit my 12K July 25th, and I started promoting June 22nd. I don't even remember that happening that fast. But you know why it happened that fast? Because I just did the work. I didn't do anything. There's nothing fancy in here, and it's so cute. I have some of your guys' names are in here. I love that you're on the page right now. Yeah, and then I have where I switched to saying I wanted to make 20K. Oh, and then I have up here where I have people's names on my team and what goal did they have. That's when I kind of, finally I have like a team to work with. So I want to know, like, oh, here we go. November 29th, Heather Frisch and Laura Wernsman, 12K auto bonus. Right there in my planner. How funny. Are you guys doing the work? I know some of you are. I know for a fact some of you are. But are you doing the work? Are you overthinking? Are you worried about making an amazing post? Are you worried about making the right graphic? I can tell you right now, this chick here who was like crushing goals, I didn't even know what Canva was. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew what compliance was because I had heard of it. I didn't know. I didn't know that there was like network marketing scripts. I didn't know any of that stuff. And honestly, I think I did better when I didn't know. So I want you to just go bare bones. I want you to get back to the basics. I've talked about this a million times before. If you have a goal in front of you and you want to go all in for it, all in is not the same thing as all in one day. Okay. I know it's exciting. I know everybody wants to dive in and people want to go really hard for like 5 days. Hardcore people, maybe 12 days, but then people burn out. I would much rather you talk consistently to 10 people a day, 7 days a week, than try to impress someone by saying, I talked to 100 people today. Just put one foot in front of the other. Do what you know needs to be done. For those of you that are new and you're like, but I really don't know what needs to be done. You need to be reaching out to people daily. You need to be following up with people daily. You need to be connecting with your upline daily. You need to be posting on social media, and you need to be doing some sort of self-development or something like where you're going to learn about the company or the product, not to become an expert, but just to become better, more well-rounded. Nowhere in there did I say you have to have an amazing YouTube channel. I didn't say you have to have 8,000 followers, because guess what, people? Followers and hearts and likes don't pay your bills. Orders pay your bills. So if you only talk to 10 people a day, but you have 10 good conversations with people where you get to know them, you get to understand what they're struggling with, and they get to know you to where they know, like, and trust you, you're going to do better in life in general, but definitely with promoting and hitting a rank than you are if you just go full board and try to like come up with amazing graphics. I always tell people, so, we have technically 4 businesses, and Lavelle makes the most money for us. And it's also the easiest for us. All the other businesses we have to do all of the marketing work. We have to come up with pictures. We have to come up with the graphics. We have to come up with the ideas. We have to keep track of the inventory. We have to do all the things. Lavelle, what do I have to do? I have to talk to people. I have to ask them questions, see how they're doing, figure out if there's something going on in their world that I have something in my catalog that can fix it. So don't overthink this, but don't not take action. Okay, does that make sense? Sandra says, oh, to Tammy. Oh, that's the other Tammy. I was like, wait, I'm struggling. I gotta go back here. Sonia, I overthink really bad, and then I talk myself out of it because I think it sounds bad. Okay. Sonia is a perfect example, and I'm not picking on you, but you went through this the other day. So she had listened to, I believe it was one of Susan's Zooms, where Susan very naturally, because it was her personality, it was her words, it was something that you would hear come out of Susan's mouth and not think twice about it. Sonia had written it down, and then she tried to say it in like a voice recording to her customers. Well, I know Sonia and I know Susan, and they are 2 very different people. And poor little Sonia was like, how does it sound now? Well, what about now? What about now? I think you went through it like 3 or 4 times. We finally got one where she was a little looser. It's a little bit more her. I was like, picture in your head who you're talking to. Maybe don't use the exact words. Like, what words would you say? So again, in that moment, overthinking it. When any leader gives you an idea or a thought or words, you have to remember that that's what would come out of my mouth, not necessarily what would come out of yours. So if I use the word, don't kill me, but I still haven't sent it, you know why you haven't sent it? Because you're still not comfortable with it, because it's still not your words. It's not your voice. It's not your words. And that's why you're not sending it. And so that's the thing. Gosh, how do I say this? So when I get on and do these Zooms, I prep some, I make notes. I try to have an idea of what I want to talk about, but I have tried before to like write a bunch of stuff out, and then it's no good. But when I just have my thought, and then and you guys know my mouth and my words and how sometimes things don't make sense. And sometimes I sound like an old lady, and then sometimes I sound like a truck driver. That's who I am. Then it makes more sense. It's easier to follow. It's easier to listen to, because I'm being me. And that's what I want you to do when you're talking to people. Be you. So if you have some amazing deal, I might call something an amazing deal. You might call it a great promo. I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking of Sandra. I know when Sandra Delbeck talks to people, she does not use the same words I do. She's got her cute little Texas accent, and they have different words. So I don't want you to pretend to be someone you're not by overthinking things and thinking you have to be perfect or follow a script. The other Tammy with an I says she's struggling with what? Tammy with an I. Sandra, I'm doing a vision board party tomorrow night, and I'm planning a Zoom for the Thrive Local in WF. I don't know what that is. I should know, I'm sure. Then that was Sonia saying, don't kill me. Wichita Falls. Duh, as soon as I saw it. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. And so here's one of the points that I had too, that I wanted to make about my 2015 calendar. I did all kinds of things. I don't even know if I did them right, but I did all kinds of things. I tried everything, like literally tried it all. Had a Thrive After 5, did a Facebook Live, threw out a promo to my team. I just tried all the things. Look at Sandra. She's doing a vision board party. It's a Zoom party, but she's going to do it nonetheless. She's planning a Zoom local for her people that are in Wichita Falls. She's just doing stuff. That's what you have to remember to do. Instead of trying to get everything perfect, just dive in and do it. That's going to take you so much further than sending the perfect script. Okay. So I want you guys to think about that. When you get stuck, I want you to think about what action can I just do? And then again, if you feel stuck, we all get there. Don't feel like I can't tell Tammy I'm stuck. She'll be mad. I don't care if you're stuck. I want you to be unstuck. So I want you to tell me, because I want to be, I mean, you guys can ask some of the girls on my team. They'll ask me questions and I will just start thinking out loud. And probably the first 7 things I say make no sense. And we're like, no, that's not a good idea. But eventually we come up with something good. So put your heads together with somebody. A point I want to make really quick, throw the dang ball. Yes, Lisa, that's exactly it. We all need t-shirts that say that. Throw the dang ball. Edie says Team No Limits, which is her team, had a vision party. Oh, I did not know that. I'll be anxious to see pictures of that, Edie. Okay, so a couple things I want to share really quickly before we run out of time. And if you have questions, just put them in the chat for me. You saw on the title of this that we had 110 days left. And I don't know how you feel about 110 days. Some of you might think that is forever. And some of you might think, my gosh, that's next week. So I did just some quick little searches, okay? On average, to make a major motion movie, like a big actual movie, like with famous people in it, it takes 75 to 120 days. Okay. Masterpiece. Like these are movies that like bring in millions of dollars and people get awards for. 75 to 120 days. To grow corn from a seed, 60 to 100 days, depending on the variety, right? So I know right now, like, in the spring when everything is green and fresh and new, and then before you know, you're like, oh, it's fall and we're already harvesting the corn, and how that goes so fast, 60 to 100 days. And then the one that I thought was probably the most amazing to me, and this was, all Google, so it has to be true, right? For the average person to walk from the West Coast to the East Coast, which is approximately 3,000 miles, it takes 100 days. You have 110 days to change the outcome of your business, actually the outcome of your family. If you guys have done any of the math, bare minimum, if you hit the 4K rank advance, you would be getting $500 a month, I think for 8 months, if I did the math right. What would $500 a month mean for you? What current bill do you have that is $500 a month or even less? Maybe there's 2 bills that you would literally wipe out. If you were to hit the 12K, you would make $1,200 extra a month for 10 months. I know for a fact that could pay a lot, right? What if we get you to the 40K? Are you ready for this? $3,333 extra each month. And I forget what that one was, maybe 8 months too, I forget. So anyway, you get my point. You have 100 days, which is enough time to make the next blockbuster movie or make yourself the blockbuster, right? You have 110 days technically to get it done. You can literally take your life from East Coast to West Coast. You can flip everything around. But how you do it is how we do all the things. We break it down. We keep it simple. We connect with people. You guys, something as simple and easy as a birthday reach out should never be overlooked. Something as simple as how was your weekend should never be overlooked. Something as simple as making sure you connect with your customers should never be overlooked. So I know that when something like this comes up, everybody immediately runs to like the 200K or $1 million leaders, and they start trying to copy what they see on their Facebook or their Instagram. That's what they're doing now. It's not what they did then. My point, if I really look at my activity now versus my activity then, things are different. When did I have the most fastest, intense growth? Back in the day. Okay. So yes, I know some of these millionaires are semi-famous and everybody wants to be like them, and that's cool. And they only post once a day, or they have photo shoots or whatever. I get it. You'll eventually get to do all that fun stuff, but you have to remember where they came from. They came from in the trenches where they had to talk to people. They had to do Zooms. They had to do opportunity lives. They had to do a million messages. So put in the work for 110 damn days, right? And see where you can go. Okay. I still have trouble with reach outs to strangers. I feel like they think I'm some kind of weirdo. Like, why does this chick care what I did this weekend? I will say this. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again just in case anyone ever heard this. I used to have a brick and mortar store, a gift shop, like the kind where you open the door and you flip the sign to open every day. I literally lived for strangers. I sat at the desk and I stared at the door and I thought, oh, send me some strangers, Jesus. Send me some strangers because I need them to come in and buy some stuff. I think when we start saying things like, I think they think I'm weird. No, you think it's weird. Maybe you had a weird conversation. I don't ever just find a stranger and say, hey, how was your weekend? I might say, hey, I saw that you and I were both friends with Allison, and it looks like we were both at the same soccer game together. And I didn't know, I didn't get a chance to meet you. Maybe next time we'll get to see each other. Done. We've made a connection. Move on to the next stranger. You will eventually get the conversation to the point of, hey, it was good to see you at the game this time. So glad we finally got to meet. Hey, blah, whatever. I'm just making all this shit up in the air. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I would never go to a stranger and be like, hey, how was your weekend? Because I don't know them. But how do I know them? What am I connecting over? It could be a stranger and say, hey, I know this might seem weird, but I saw the picture of your dog and I'm a sucker for dogs. And I saw we have a mutual friend. So please don't think I'm a weirdo, but I just think your puppy's gorgeous. Hello, I talk to anybody about my dog all day. So just how you go about it might need to be a little bit different. Throw the dang ball, be you, do you. Like to, okay. All right. Anyway, we're down to 3 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? Remember, don't let your auto ships slip by. Make sure you're using those reports in your back office to connect to people that you have possibly forgotten about. Please use the heck out of samples if you're making them at home, or if you're using the samples in the back of the back of the catalog. Hello, I don't know where that came from the cloud office. However you're doing it, the best way to get somebody excited about Thrive is to let them get to touch it. You can give them away, you can sell them for what you paid for them, or you can even mark them up. This is a business, make money if you want. That's a-okay. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to put this up on the YouTube for anybody that missed it, or if you feel like you want to go back and listen to something. And with that, I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye.